Two local sheriffs say heroin is getting stronger and the users in the Twin Cities getting younger. They're warning everyone about the drug as we learned how many Minnesotans it's killing. Let's go to Robert Moses here to join us with some startling new numbers. Robert?
Cindy, it's relatively cheap, it's accessible, and it is strong. According to a Drug Enforcement Administration study, the Twin Cities has some of the most potent heroin of any city in the U.S. All of that makes for a deadly combination. Heroin dominated Edward Yackel's life for the better part of 10 years.
I went from having a family and being a sergeant in the military police at one point in my life to being completely on the opposite end of that.
That's what Hennepin County Sheriff Rich Stanek and Anoka County Sheriff Bruce Anderson tried to prevent Tuesday as they sounded the alarm about what they say is increasing heroin use in the metro.
You have to be fairly committed to inject yourself to get this high. But now what you're seeing in the lower portion of that graphic is heroin in powder form, which you can inhale. A little bit easier to do.
According to medical examiners' offices in 4 counties, 14 people died of heroin overdoses in the metro in 2008. From January 1st to November 18th of 2009, that number jumped to 22 deaths. That's more than a 50% increase. Part of the problem, according to Mark Reinholtz at the Health Recovery Center in Minneapolis, is heroin access.
The availability has really gone up, and it is not hard to get a hold of.
The sheriffs want you to see this packaging. The pink and orange packages are cocaine. The yellow and green bags contain heroin. They say it can be hard to tell the two drugs apart just by looking.
The best thing you can do for a loved one that's addicted is tough love.
That was a common theme I heard today. Another one was the importance of being involved parents. The sheriffs say, know what your kids are doing. And a counselor I spoke to today said do not give them access to the medicine cabinet because prescription drug addiction can quickly turn into heroin addiction. Reporting live tonight, Robert Moses, 5 Eyewitness News.
These brightly colored balloons became everything to Edward Yackel. For 7 years, he says he lived and nearly died for the heroin inside them.
Heroin becomes the most important relationship in your life. It becomes your wife, your mother, your lover, everything else, and every other relationship in your life takes a backseat to that.
Yackel says it started with an industrial accident and an addiction to painkillers.
Eventually, OxyContin became too expensive to maintain and too hard to find. So it went to a heroin addiction eventually.
Local sheriffs say heroin's low cost and high potency are 2 reasons heroin use is up in Minnesota. And sheriffs say a newer powdered form of the drug is especially appealing to younger users.
What law enforcement used to see is heroin be injected. And that's an invasive thing. And not so easy to do.
The end result is the same. Regardless if you've used intravenously or not, the end result's the same. You're a full-blown addict.
Edward Yackel knows the pain of life as a full-blown addict. After dealing drugs to support his $500 a day heroin habit, he ended up in jail. And then, finally, treatment. But now that he's drug-free, he worries about the growing number of young people trying heroin for the first time.
Before they know it, it's completely out of control. They've lost all hope.